Hey everybody, NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers. Oh, I'm not. Folks, for all of my followers that I presently have right now, I appreciate each and every one of you. This is a video I'm hoping that if you have somebody within your circle of friends that are possibly interested in parks on the air, or if you stumbled onto my video and you're sort of curious about parks on the air, feel free to share this one. That's the only time I'll use that word. I'm not asking you to like or subscribe. That's not what we're here for. But we want to just tell you a little story. It's probably going to be about 25-30 minutes if I'm babbling on along. What got me started in this so-called POTA? I mean, all I hear is there's somebody out in the middle of somewhere given some park numbers and they're making contacts, and it's so fast, but so many times it's so friendly. It's not like contesting, and there's nothing wrong with contesting, folks, so don't send me no nasty grams. It's just not something I'm into. But one of the things I found with parks on the air, there is a lot of real-time acquaintances and friends that grow by actually going on the amateur radio frequencies and having fun, something different. Us activators, and for all you new folks just wondering, an activator is the parties that go out into the different park locations. Not every park can be part of the POTA Parks on the Air system. There's guidelines that have to be followed and met before it has a park entity number or park number, okay? So if you see a park near you, if it's owned by the county or owned by the city, it's not qualified right off the bat. But that's later on. First thing, if you're interested in parks on the air, if you're interested in actually seeing what your antenna array will do, or the power, if you want to run 5 watts or 10 watts, or if you want to run CW, if you want to run FT8, it's an opportunity for you, the hunter at home, to test your system. Test it on battery power. Don't use AC, okay? Or if you want to be an activator, go out into the field and do the same thing and have a different, I'm going to say, selection of antennas, because you will more than likely want one of these, want one of those. That's normal, okay? But as a hunter, every time you work a park and you're new and you don't understand it yet because you're learning it, work the park. If you work 16 folks in that park, still work the park. In time, you'll find yourself graduating towards looking at the awards page and taking the time to read the frequently asked questions and taking the time to, some of the people you meet actually message in Messenger, okay? And next thing you know, those acquaintances become friends across the pond, okay? As a hunter, if I'm in a park and you work me on 15 meters and I go into 20 meters, work me again. Same park, but you've worked me on another band. Oh, this time you worked me on CW. Now I'm on sideband. Work me again, because that's another contact, a different mode, different band, same park, all become multiples of each other. I share this because a lot of folks don't understand, because they're not used to being able to work somebody more than one time. Where here you can. Now, if I'm in the same park, don't work me 3 or 4 minutes later because I just want another contact. I've already worked you. And it's not that we don't appreciate you, but many folks would like to work the activators. Many activators started out because of they were on the other side of this video as a hunter. They were chasing all these different people across the United States and across the pond. If any of you folks hear Foxtrot 4 Italy Lima Hotel, he's over in France. I have nearly 1,100 contacts with him in France from my car 90% of the time. He's an activator in France, and I've worked him several times from my house with an antenna that's only 20 feet off of the ground, and we work multiple bands. One of the things with Parks on the Air is going to allow you to spread your wings to multiple bands, because the activators that are out there are going to generally go to multiple bands, especially when the band openings. A lot of folks get stuck on 20 and 40, 20 and 40 and never move. Those hunters that are close into me, if I go to 20 meters, more than likely ain't going to hear a word out of me. And it's frustrating because I'm not going to go to 40 meters and you get mad. Why? Well, that's the thing that we try to teach and share with people is go, especially in your local community, 300-400 miles, go to 40 meters in your area if propagation is right, so that those people in your circle of friends locally can work you and get those parks. 260 some parks in North Carolina alone. You're brand new, you've signed up for Parks on the Air, and you're on the spotting page, and there's so many questions. If you take the time to follow the Facebook page, some people don't like it, and that's fine, you don't have to. But it's a good source of some positive information. As with any organization, you'll always have keyboard warriors, somebody who snipes you instead of answers you politely with a positive note. One thing about amateur radio, you and I today are making the future for amateur radio tomorrow, and how we act today can either make somebody join us or have somebody leave from our attitude. So that's one of the things. Now, as a hunter, you log them on your paper or your QRZ page or your N3FJP or whatever logging program you have for your records at your house. As a hunter, understand this. You do not upload any logs. Period. You are dependent upon the activator uploading their logs. And if you should choose to become an activator, the activator is what verifies all contacts once they are uploaded to the Parks on the Air system. Many activators will also upload to EQSL, QRZL, or TW. I'm not going to get into that part. But for you as a hunter, you work them all. And you work them all the time. You learn a lot about propagation. You'll learn all of a sudden, here I am in North Carolina and I'm working Georgia on 20 meters. I'm running 15 watts. It's unbelievable. How is that possible? It's called propagation, folks. One of the things that we as ham operators get to learn and experience by getting on the air on different bands is we get to play with propagation. We can't control it. So when the band's open, go for it. If any of you are new to amateur radio, there's a sunspot cycle every 10, 11 years where things go up and it's great, and then it goes down and it's dead. A dead band means that nobody's attempting to talk on it. So don't think that because you don't hear anything that the band's dead. It might just be that there's not enough people that want to go try to work a band that they don't hear nothing on. Well, you have to make noise in order to be heard, so keep that in mind. Going back to what I said, hunters, you do not upload a log. You keep your log if you want. If you miss the park number that they gave you, that's okay. You do not have to worry about that park number being, unless you want it in your log at your home, because that activator will upload their log with the park number or numbers. Okay? I'm talking a lot about new people in the hunting aspect of it. And the reason is we want you to come and have fun. We want you to experience work in different countries on different bands at different power levels with different antennas instead of just going to a Geritol net. I hope that's not a legitimate name, but anyways, a net. We don't do relays of signal reports and things like that. We just make the contacts. We fight the pileups, and you, as a hunter, here's a secret. As a hunter, learn your activator's style. Learn your activator style. For anybody that works me, you'll know what I'm going to tell you. I do paper logging, folks. Spread your calls out. I'll fill in the blanks when I come back. Give your call one time. And the reason I do that is I can accomplish more for me. That's strictly me. It's not everybody else. Many of us activators have a unique style. And as you're working the different activators, you'll learn them. You'll learn them at a point where you'll hear their voice and not even worried about their call because you know who it is because you've worked them enough. Many of us have YouTube channels. I have one. Obviously you're here, but I'm not soliciting for likes or subscribes. If you do either of the above, it's up to you. But I'm here to share while I'm alive, and my days are short, and I'm looking forward to going being with the Lord. I'm 70 some years old and very tired and fighting cancer and heart issues, okay? So it's all right, but while I'm here, let's share the positive side of amateur radio. You've joined. You're going to see some bad apples. Every bag has got a bruised apple in it. Just take the bruised apple out and go on and enjoy the rest of the fruit of the bag. Even in amateur radio, we have what they call sad hams, or you can create other names if you like. That's just people who don't realize how beautiful it is. I'm going to make an ugly statement here, and I don't mean it derogatorily. We can sit on our butts all day long and not do anything, or we can get off our butts and go out to a park and enjoy the beauty that God has given us. The land, the geocaching that people do, the camping that people do, the fishing that people do. In this way, we're enjoying the outside environment, below zero temperatures and mosquitoes and chiggers. Oh, those are all some of the side effects of being an activator. But anyways, thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest in Parks on the Air. Parks on the Air grows because of people like you who have an interest and want to do something fun in amateur radio. And by the way, you'll meet 1 ton of awesome people. 73s, thanks again. If you feel this is worthy of sharing with some of your friends that aren't quite sure about POTA or Parks on the Air, have them come over. Again, I'm not looking for subscriptions. I'm just looking to share some positiveness about ham radio, amateur radio, NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers. Oh, I'm not. Just Dom, the darling old man. 73s, I'll catch you on the air.